Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wilderspool Stadium this evening, where Leeds are tonight's visitors, and the Leeds team just taking the field. I'll run through the two teams for you, and then we'll hear from our co-commentator this evening, Phil Daly. For Leeds, Graham Holroyd is at full-back. Paul Sterling, Damien Gibson, Phil Hassan and Marvin Golden are the three-quarters, with Iestyn Harris making a return to Warrington for the first time since his transfer, and Ryan Sheridan in the halves. Martin Marcello, Wayne Collins, Jamie Matthew the props, with Andy Hay, Anthony Faddle and Gary Mercer backing up the back three. And the substitutes are Leroy Rivet, Teddy Newton, Adrian Morley and Jamie Field. And for Warrington, they lie up with Lee Penny at full-back, Richard and Harris, Alyssa Finau, John Roper and Mark Forster. And the half-backs are Mike Wainwright, normally a loose forward, and Lee Briars from St Helens. Gary Chambers, Willie Swan and Mark Hilton at the front three, with Richie Ayres, former Leeds man, Tony Tutupu at 12, Paul Sculthorpe at 13. And the substitutes, John Duffy, recently capped by Scotland, Warren Stevens, George Mann, another former Leeds man, and Ian Knott. And the referee is Steve Gamson. We've got Phil Daly with us tonight. Phil, a game that both sides have got to win for different reasons.
A crucial game for the Wolves tonight, Stuart. It really will be a big test for their season. They need a win. They need it here at Wilderspool. For the Rhinos, yes, they're in second place. If the ball's pulling away, this will be a crucial game for them tonight. They're going to stay in touch. They're going to have any contention. This will be one for them to win.
Right, that's Phil Daly. You'll be hearing from him as the game goes on. And Graham Holroyd is about to kick off for Leeds. And Leeds will be playing with their backs to the scoreboard in this first half. And so Graham Holroyd sliding the kick up. He wears 14, quite a sizable Leeds fan following have made the trip over across the Pennines on this Friday evening game. And the game's underway, and immediately Briars finds Gary Chambers, who runs the ball back towards that 20-metre line. Lee Penny now bringing the ball away, but Leeds tackling sure and strong. 3 men in at the tackle. Willie Swan, who was sacked on the previous regime at Warrington's back. And that's Mark Hilton. He's back in the frame. He's been out for most of the season, hence the number 41. He would be first choice prop. Injured in the pre-season friendly. And Chambers again. That's twice he's taken the ball up. That's good running there from the big number 10. Willie Swan again in at dummy half. Was sacked by the previous coaching regime, brought back by Delavan, and has done really well since he came back. Holroyd picks the ball up then from full back and runs for Leeds. Great tackle coming in. It'll be Sculthorpe that's done the tackle. In fact, it isn't. It's number 5, Richard Denari. Oh, a good first set of 6 for Warrington, Phil.
Very tight start there, Stuart. Both teams struggling to get out their own halves from their first sets of 6.
And the Warrington supporters cheering to the echo. And Warrington have conceded the first penalty, having an extra go. Steve Gamson, the referee, says it was flopping. Well, Leeds will be pretty relieved about that, because they were penned deep in their own 10-metre area. Iestyn Harris's kick finds touch. The boos of the Warrington crowd in his ears. That won't bother Iestyn. Wayne Collins finds Martin Marcella just driving the ball forward. And Leeds will be looking to use the forwards, Matthew and Faddle, in these early stages to drive up towards the halfway line, put a move on the 4th or the 5th tackle. Collins again now, just looks, finds Gary Mercer. Mercer's running into his opposite number tonight, Paul Sculthorpe. Collins again. Collins to Hay. And Hay, but good again defence. Warrington moving up quickly. That's 4 tackles gone. Leeds are up to halfway. Collins goes from dummy half. Oh, and that's great defence from Marker Collins. Nowhere to go there through the dummy, but nobody bought it from the Warrington side. Richie Ayres was in at the tackle. Holroyd puts the kick in. That's a left-footed kick. Sits up well for Lee Penny. One saw Lee Penny absolutely destroy Leeds here with a hat-trick from full-back a couple of seasons ago. And Alyssa Finau through Damien Gibson's tackle. And Paul Sterling coming back knocks him down. In fact, he's not tackled, said the referee. And Faddle has to come in and complete the tackle. That's a penalty to Warrington. But holding down in the tackle there, Sterling, not allowing him to play the ball. Faddle, you see. But dangerous there. Willie Swan, Alyssa Finau straight through Damien Gibson.
Got to be a worry for the Rhinos. People wondered when Gibson moved into the centres whether it would be a risk for Coach Dean Bell, and Gibson certainly was brushed aside there by Alyssa Finau, and it is a worry for the Rhinos. Penalty now for the Warrington, and they'll look to get points on the board.
So Lee Briars then. He's going to have a first pop at goal, and it's be a nice kick if he gets it, as you can see. And the markings on the pitch here at Wilderspool is just about 28 metres. And the referee's having none of the running on. Well, that's a bit of a ridiculous situation, because in these heat conditions, players need water as often as possible, and they will take advantage of any break in the game to get water on. In fact, it's no good telling the Leeds men, there's plenty of people coming on with water for Warrington as well. So Briars in. 10 metres in from touch. Hooks it wide. He'll be disappointed with that. And Leeds will have to drop out from the 20 metres, and it'll be Iestyn Harris will do the kicking. It's still a very hot and humid evening here at Wilderspool. And eventually the ball is returned, and Harris can drop kick this one up the field. And that's a top kick from Harris that goes right back towards the 20 metres, picked up by Mark Hilton. And Warrington will be pretty mighty relieved to see Mark Hilton back. They've struggled at prop all season, lost 3 props in the pre-season friendly games. And Lee Penny acting for the penalty, not getting it. So the referee, Sculthorpe, puts his head down and barges forward. Good defence from Leeds. Willie Swan goes from dummy half. Philosan coming back, takes him, runs straight into Philosan. The crowd incensed about something at the back of the post. Wainwright's in at standoff. Oh, and throws the ball back there. It's going to be knocked back, says the referee. Hilton up to the last tackle now. Warrington claiming a Leeds hand had got in there. Warrington using the short side. Briars puts the kick over. And Sterling can watch that one go into touch. So again, a good set of 6 for the wire.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're putting the pressure on, and they're just looking for a mistake from the Rhinos side in defence, and they'll keep piling this pressure on. Hopefully something will break. But the Rhinos are holding out well. Some good defence there, and some maturity shown by Paul Sterling, leaving that kick and making sure that he had it straight in.
So the Wolves' chant has not really caught on here at Warrington, still sounding wire, the back of the post. Sheridan works the feed, finds Gibson. And Gibson's well tackled over there by Lee Penny, Mark Hilton in at the tackle. Hassan. But nowhere for Hassan to go. Warrington defence up very, very quickly. Mercer, big hit coming in there on Gary Mercer. That was a crunch tackle. Gary Chambers. Marcella taking play, Leeds again, taking play, looking for any opening in the 2 defences, very much on top at the moment. Mercer again, just held there, and we're into the last tackle now. Leeds have made only 20 metres in that set of 6, and it'll be for Graham Holroyd to put boot to ball. And that's not a good kick, because that goes straight to Forster. And Forster again knocks off Damien Gibson, but Sterling's equal to the task. Fee now again. And Silas Fee now fancies running at Damien Gibson all evening. There's a good strong hand off there, but the Leeds player did well, kept hold and forced it again. So Warrington have used 3 tackles up. Briars looking to move that ball again for Mark Hilton. Knocked down. And Lee Penny just running into Iestyn Harris off the ball. Wainwright again. It's the ball for Tutupu. Strong player Tony Tutupu. Stepping out of Damien Gibson's tackle, and Gibson holding on there to his legs. Briars again, that looks forward to Richie Ayres. And it's the last tackle now, so Leeds have held out for another set of 6 on their own line. It's Warrington all at the early pressure with nothing to show for it. The long ball out there, there must be a try here if Warrington can get the ball away. That's forward a mile. And really a mistake there on the far side by, I think, Richard Inari. Certainly the ball was should have gone out to the winger, and there would have been a certain try there.
Yeah, they looked to be in there, but it was a mile forward, as you said, Stu. Warrington looking like the desperate side they are. They need this win tonight, and they're coming for it. And here comes Iestyn Harris, and he just makes the 10 yards.
Yes, good running there from Harris. Sterling looking for a way through, gets the ball back to Collins. Collins moving the ball, Matthew's ball is for Faddle. And good defence, though, coming in again from Hilton. But Faddle's very strong and keeps on his feet for some time before he's brought down, and it takes 3 Warrington players eventually to bring him down. Mazzella again, spinning round in the tackle, up to halfway. Harris again now, Looking to put the ball through. No one in support there. That's knocked forward by Finau, and Leeds will get the scrum. And really, that ought to be a penalty there for Finau kicking that ball away. It's a professional attempt to slow the game down. And really, Harris had made the half break there. No support from Leeds.
Unfortunately not. Harris, that little bit more ahead of his team at the moment. Just the Rhinos taking their time to click into gear. But no doubt in these conditions, once things start hotting up, as they indeed will down pitch side, this game will get going.
Sheridan then works the feed, finds Harris again. Harris will give the ball to Phil Hassan. Hassan running at the defence. Oh, great tackle there coming in from Mike Wainwright. But Marvin Golden's got the ball for Leeds and he's through the first line of defence. That's good running from Golden. And good to see Golden back to some sort of form. Sheridan runs with the football, looks to drop off there. Finds Farrell again, bringing him on the inside. Farrell struggling to get that ball away. That's good driving from the big lead spot, but good defence again from Willie Swan and Richie Ayres. Ball picked up by Holroyd. Looks for the way through, finds a gap now. Comes across, gets the ball away to Gibson. Oh, there's a gap there, and Gibson steps back into the field of players. Harris puts the hammer down. Collins again. Mercer. And that's good football from Leeds, keeping that ball alive. Sheridan then in at dummy half. Will find Harrison. He'll want the ball in his hand so close to the opposition line. Goes through there. That's Gibson again. And Gibson steps when the gap looked the obvious route to take. Up to the last tackle now. Harris again with the football. But Sheridan through a big gap there. Sheridan's in for the try underneath the post. Good play from Leeds. And Warrington will be disappointed because they've kept Leeds out, but they couldn't keep out there. And Iestyn Harris again opening the gap.
Superb play from Leeds. They've seen it through several sets of hands there, and there was no way they were coming away from that end of the field without some scores. It was superb, going through the sets of hands. Harris to Collins, back inside, Harris again, and it was superb finishing off, brilliant finishing off there. And really, that's they've come away, a lot of pressure for Warrington, but they haven't finished it, and Rhinos have. They've come up the field with this set of 6 and have done superbly well there.
Yes, about 7 minutes on the clock. And Iestyn Harris has worked the oracle, and twice in that play, Damien Gibson looked to have the gap to go through and sidestepped his way back into the centre of the field. But it's all worked out well for Leeds in the end. He kept the ball moving. Good play there from the Australian. And Harris shouldn't have any problems converting this one. There's some right in front of the post. And Harris does convert, so Leeds have a 6-0 lead.
There was great play by Ryan Sheridan. We've heard so much about his antics out in Australia from reports coming back to England, but we really haven't seen it since then. But tonight, that was brilliant. Great support. He's on the same wavelength as Iestyn Harris now. We heard Iestyn Harris earlier in the week say that he was taking his time to get with his Leeds teammates, but he's certainly on the same wavelength with Ryan Sheridan there.
Yes, and I can tell you that Ryan Sheridan been adjudged the Player of the Month for June by Coach Dean Bell. And Warrington now penned back in their 20, so it'll need a good set of 6 from Leeds to keep Warrington penned up here. That's what they'll be looking to do. Gibson again. Tackled by Forster, and Forster stamps on Gibson's hand there. And Gibson looks ruefully at the touch judge. Oh, that's good defence there on Mark Hilton. Richie Ayres running at Iestyn Harris. Nowhere to go for Ayres. That's good defence from Leeds. And the crowd not liking it, but they're just good hard tackles they're doing at the moment. Up to the last tackle. So Warrington with Willie Swan puts the kick in, and Phil Hassan drops gratefully on the ball as it hits him on the foot. So that was a good set of 6 from Leeds. Kept Warrington close to their own half. Marvin Golden picks up from dummy half and runs himself. And Gibson having attention for the hand. Chambers. And Mercer again just takes the ball up the middle of the field, looks to support. Collins is in support. That's good play. Collins again. It's the ball back to Matthew. Matthew to Farrell. Farrell will just drive that forward because Farrell's got the strength and drags Lee Penny with him. And Leeds looking to put some attacking credentials together and doing just that at the moment. Here we come with Iestyn Harris again. Finds Sheridan. Sheridan steps, looks to go himself. This time Leeds will move the ball back through the hands of Harris. Harris is knocked forward there by Jamie Matthew. There's no knock on there. Well, the referee has blown for the knock on. There was certainly no knock on there. That ball came on the floor and then it was knocked forward off Jamie Matthews' feet. So difficult for the referee to see that, Phil, but certainly was no hand in there.
I think the rule of thumb that referees are implying this year is if it does go to ground and they're saying it's going for the pace of the game, there's no real question about it. They're just taking it as a rule.
Yes, that's a fair comment. If you lose control of the football, it's deemed to be a knock-on. Wainwright comes through. Mercer struggling with him, but he's managed to bring him down. Penny in at dummy half. Finding Tony Tutupu. Former Auckland Warrior. Was a player that Dean Bell would have liked to have signed for Leeds last season when he was available. Hilton. Sculthorpe again. Switching play. That's back to Lee Briars. And Briars, that's the ball to Finau. And Finau again knocks off Damien Gibson. And there's trouble here for Leeds. And Leeds coming back in the shape of Gary Mercer, get the football. That was a poor pass from Finau. But Damien Gibson having an absolute nightmare at the moment with Celeste Finau.
Yeah, the Queenslander can't really do anything right when he comes up against Finau. He's going too high and he's just getting pushed off on the chin every single time.
This is struggling Damien Gibson. He's got struggling with the arm injury as well. Oh, and a head-high tackle from Richie Ayres on Philissan goes unpunished. Again, Gibson's looking, I think he could have a broken finger or something there. Marcella. But that was a poor pass from Finau, a poor option, and really he should have passed inside before he tried to take Allred, and Allred's tackle was sure and safe, and the ball came back inside, and Gary Mercer coming back cleaned up for the Rhinos. Andy Hay. Throws a dummy to no one. And looks like Damien Gibson's having to leave the field. Allred again. What's the kick in? This is a better kick from Allred. Turns and chases Mark Foster. And that'll give Leeds a chance to make the substitution, which I think will be Leroy Rivet coming on for Damien Gibson. So it'll be just a case of how Leeds work the Oracle now, because could do with Marvin Golden's gone to centre, and that's a position that he likes best. So it'll be interesting to see, Phil, how Marvin Golden copes with the strength of Celeste Finau.
Yeah, he's a bigger player, is Marvin, and he had a superb game in the centres the other week for the A-team, and we're hoping for more today.
Lee Penny almost through the gap, but good defence there from Holroyd and Mercer. Willie Swan goes himself from dummy half. That's the modern thinking now, to have a half-back in the hook and roll. Sculthorpe. And that's a penalty conceded by Andy Hay for holding down.
Willie Swan looking for some afters there from Martin Marcella, but Marcella was having none of it. He walked back, but now won't have the penalty, and they'll make this count.
Yes, they'll be looking to gain as much ground as possible, some pressure on the Leeds line, which is held out remarkably well at the moment. Great scrambling defence from the Rhinos. Oh, Hilton again drives forward. He really is a top player, Mark Hilton. Been a great player since his academy days. It's a slightly forward pass to Gary Chambers, but Warrington only 5 or 6 metres short now, and the Warrington fans really behind the players. Lee Briars runs for the gap and gets in there despite the attention of Andy Hay, and Leeds won't be happy with the defence there. The sliding defence didn't come at all, and Lee Briars saw the gap and went through it.
Great strength from Lee Briars there. He knew where he was going. He was 5 metres out and there was no stopping him. Andy Hay perhaps went a little high. He had the shirt. He didn't really toe for the legs, but there was no stopping Briars now. He knew where he was going, and he had the strength and the power to bring himself over. For a little man, he really has got some awesome strength in his legs. And that's what Warrington needed, to come back straight away. They couldn't let that lead stay there. They had to get a reprise, and they have done, and it was a good try for them.
So Briars then in for the try. And Leeds just rejigging with Leroy Rivet having to come on and caught out there. So Lee Briars has this kick to level the scores. That's 6-all. And you'll hear from the cheers of the crowd that that's successful. Well, 6-all then, all on and all to play for. So Briars will look for the kick-off. And Sheridan with the kick-off, and Farrell, the ball returner, but only up to the 10-metre mark before he's brought down there And Faddle's lost the ball in the tackle. Looks suspiciously like a spear tackle, and the Leeds players are claiming a spear tackle. The referee's having none of it. And that's really put Leeds under pressure now, Phil.
Just what Leeds didn't need, and Warrington will be putting the pressure on now. They'll be piling the pressure on.
Yes, it looked ever so like it could be a spear tackle. If Warrington lose forward, makes an extra man here, Leeds are in trouble on this short side. In fact, he goes the wrong way, really. And Sheridan broke quickly anyway from the back of the scrum. And that's a bad mistake from Warrington there. From Tutupu. And Holroyd's coming down the middle of the field with the football for Leeds. So good defence from Leeds. Forced the football to be knocked down by Tutupu. In fact, it may have been Mike Wainwright there. Difficult to see. Marcella. Next play up to the 40-metre mark. It's 40 metres from his own line. Matthew again, just looking to run at the gap, looking for the gap. Mercer pushes out Willis one out of the way and takes play into the wire half of the field. Harris now wants to chip in and will chase himself. That's a great kick going over the top there, and Forster can pick that one up. But he's got 3 Leeds Rhinos waiting to tackle him, Marvin Golden being one of them, and Anthony Faddle comes in and completes the tackle. And that's good defence from Golden there on Fee now. And Forster again, so that's 3 times we've seen Warrington use Fee now and Forster for the first 3 drives of a set. Hilton again, good defence from Mazzella. That was a big hard tackle. Sculthorpe again. It's the kick downfield. That's a long way back for Leeds to chase, and Richard and Hardy's chasing, but that's going to beat everyone. That'll finish up in Fletcher Street there, probably in Ockers Garden. And Leeds can tap this one on the 20 metres. So we're up to around about the 20-minute mark, and as far as the first half goes, it's been pretty even, Stephen. And Wayne Collins just asking for the Warrington players politely, I think, to pass him the ball. That's been declined, and he's had to come and fetch it himself. Matthew. And big tackle there coming in from Hilton. Mercer, now there's a bit of space for Leeds. And Mercer makes the good 10 metres, that's good play. Golden again looking to step his way through. Tutupu lines him up, brings him down. Faddle, and again a big tackle coming in from Mark Hilton. He's certainly been missing for most of the season, but he's making his presence felt tonight. Sheridan dancing, weaving, slips the ball back to Collins. Faddle again. And Faddle's really strong, and he's lost the football and picked up there. And that's a knock on again, says the referee, despite the fact that the ball appeared to go backwards. And that seems to be the rule of thumb. If you lose the ball in the tackle, Phil, no matter which way it goes, you're going to concede the scrum. Yeah, that seems to be what the referees are ruling to these days. Plays very congested out there. We've just seen Marvin Golden and Paul Sterling bang next to each other when the ball came to him. They've got to spread it wide. Lee Penny coming in, but a good defence from Iestyn Harris. And Holroyd in at the tackle, pushing Lee Penny to the ground. Ayres. Mercer and Hassan in, bringing Richie Ayres to the floor. Briars again. Looks for the runaround with Wainwright. Sculthorpe. Fee now. Great play there. Foster's going down the field. Oh, good defence again from Leeds. Last ditch tackling again from the Rhinos. Briars. Wainwright. Back to Briars again. Briars. And Warrington keeping the ball alive. That's what the fans want to see. Tutupu. And not a good pass from Fee now. That was pointless doing that. That was only about the 4th tackle, Phil. That's what the fans don't want to see, Stuart. Just throwing a ball away. You've got to complete your sets of 6, especially in these conditions. Talking of the conditions, they're going to have a great impact in this game. It's very hot down there. Leeds are warming up their substitutes in Adrian Morley and Jamie Field, and they'll have to blood these the forwards. Yes, that's the idea. I think that Leeds can spell the forwards. It is really hot here tonight at Wilderspool. The sun not gone down yet. Marvin Golden then works the ball away from the scrum. You can see we've had 7 scrums already. Sheridan finds Harris. Harris running across looking for a way through. Finds Sterling. If Sterling can step here, there's room for him. Wainwright brings him down. Actually, Sterling stepping out of the tackles and still going. And Leeds attack a little bit at 6s and 7s, but they get the penalty, and a bit of roughing up from the two South Sea Islanders to Tupou and Willie Swan. Gives Leeds their second penalty. So the penalties at the moment 2-all and the scrums 4-3 to the Wolves. Referee's not happy with the football. In fact, it sounds like it's flat as he kicks it across. Another ball comes on. Sculthorpe just has a word with the referee. 6 points all, and we've been playing about half an hour now of this game. Matthew just driving into a solid wall of Warrington defenders, and a lot of talking going on out on the field. Sheridan's drop off balls for Marcella, and Marcella's walloped there as soon as he caught the football. Good defence. Harris again now. Inside ball for Faddle. Faddle looking to go. He really is strong, Anthony Faddle. That's good play from the Leeds second rower. Mercer back to Collins, and Collins scragged and knocked down. Leeds losing ground there after Mercer passed the football. But that's the style Leeds have adopted at the moment. Harris goes himself at Sculthorpe. Slips. Crowd will love that one. They do. It's the last tackle. And the ball's in the hands of Graham Allroyd. Allroyd puts a little chip in across the line. That's a good kick from Allroyd. And Lee Penny has to kick it there. That was a perfectly weighted kick from the Leeds fullback.
Yeah, certainly it was a great kick. Allroyd's been very quiet at the start of this game, but he's been getting into there. He was there. Harris got tackled and he had to take it, and it was a great kick.
It's just perfectly weighted over the line, and Warrington will be dropping out, so Leeds will have another set of 6 at the Warrington line. And the dropout comes, and Harris takes it, gives it to Allroyd to run the football back. He'll give it to Andy Hay. And Andy Hay just looking round there. Marcella. And Leeds are in the red zone. It was red a few weeks ago when the Australians were here. It's green now, but it's certainly the red zone. And Faddle again. And a high tackle coming in. That was Sculthorpe round the neck, but the referee says it's okay. It's been a good, clean game so far. Apart from the incident where Forster looked to stamp on the hand of Damien Gibson. Collins from dummy half. Oh, Lee Penny just does a good job there with Paul Sculthorpe holding him back. It looked for a minute as though he was going to go over. Mazzella's in at acting half-back. He puts the hammer down now, and he's going to struggle over the line, is he? He's just held up short there, and a big gap opened up for Marvin Marcella there. It was a pity that it was him and not somebody quicker at dummy half.
Yeah, I think Mike was looking at spin that out wide, and he was just caught by his shirt, and he decided he'd better go for it, or it was just going to be a wasted power play.
Yes, almost a try to Leeds. Forster now in the middle of the field looking for work, and Harris brings him down. So a good set of pressure from Leeds, but still 6-all again. Harris comes in at Sculthorpe and doesn't complete the tackle, but certainly does now with the help of Jamie Matthew. Back again to Briars. Briars to Richard Anari. Anari brought down by Andy Hay. That's good cover defence from Leeds. Good play from both sides at the moment. Wainwright again. Warrington certainly not playing like a side who were in the bottom basement. Anari again with the football. That's good play from Wainwright. Normally a loose forward. And the kick will come in now from Briars. In fact, Warrington running the football with Sculthorpe. Out to Roper. And Leroy Rivet picks up from Roper. That's good play from Rivet. Gauged himself well there. Tackle knocked down. And they're holding down in the tackle, and Allroyd's in there throwing a punch. As in the touch judge is on, but difficult to see what happened there.
Richard Nari getting involved there. He was looking for something there. He was, and Allroyd wasn't happy. Leroy Rivet went down, and something's gone on there. We're not quite sure what, but it's really was a bit of bad play, ill-tempered. It's not what we've expected from this game. It's been good mannered so far, and it's a shame if that's going to creep into the game. But the referee's taking the culprits to one side and having a quick word.
Richard Anari is who's decided the culprit. Leeds got the penalty. The Warrington crowd don't like that. Iestyn Harris finds touch, and we're all back to square one. So again, Leeds went up to 34, 33 minutes. Matthew drives forward. It's certainly been an even Steven sort of a game. You wouldn't think one side were probably second from top and the other side third from bottom. It's been a very even game. But Leeds did expect a tough game here tonight at Wilderspool. Warrington will want to give their fans something to shout about before they go to Australia. Harris again. It's Golden storming forward. Looking strong tonight, Marvin Golden. All right then, as the football looks dodging, goes himself. The gap opens up nicely for Allroyd. He's lost the football. A knock on by Warrington player there. Oh, that's a poor decision there from the referee, and the touch judge has given it. And the referee will go have a word with the touches, because I don't think Graham Allroyd knocked on. He had the ball knocked out of his arms.
Yeah, well, that's what the touch judge is there for. He can advise the referee, and he has done. And the referee's going to give a scrum, put it into Leeds. Headens League Leeds.
Yes, the ball was knocked out by Finau, and then he knocked on again. And that's fair reflection. The referee certainly didn't see the second knock on in the tackle there. Finau knocked on when he was picking the ball up. And Sheridan gets the ball out, finds Harris again. Harris just looking to drop off for Phil Hassan. Hassan going, can he get the ball away there? Leroy Rivet was waiting, but he couldn't get the ball away. Rivet himself will have a run for the line. Strong knocks off Richard and Addy. Eventually he's pulled down by 42, Richie Hayes. Harris again, long ball out to Allroyd. Allroyd finds Sheridan. Sheridan dodging, weaving. Oh, that's great defence from Warrington. Read the play there perfectly well. Briars and Finau. Finau with a big smile on his face. He's relishing this. Warren Stevens is on now. And he's come on for Mark Hilton. Harris again. It's the ball back to Matthew. Not the best of play there from Leeds. It's looking a bit at 6s and 7s on their attack. 5 tackles gone. Leeds haven't made a yard in this set of 6. Collins will help to do that. Harris again puts a little rubber kick across the line. Lee Penny takes it. Oh, and gets back into the field of play. Good full-back play.
Great play by Lee Penny. He knew the danger and he read it well.
And Harris is in at the tackle. That's good play from Iestyn Harris. For some reason I was going to call him Richard Harris then, but he played for Wakefield Trinity. Just once. And Warren Stevens, that's good defence from Leeds again from Farrell and Mercer. Richie Ayres goes inside, always looking to offload the ball. Ayres and Stevens again. Up to the last tackle, good defence from Leeds. Have kept Warrington around the 20-metre mark, and it'll take the boot of Wainwright. But that's a great kick from Mike Wainwright. Rivet picks up on the first bounce and comes away from the touchline side. Allroyd will just find Hassan with the kick. Hassan stepping, going himself. Great defence again. Both the defences tonight have been tip-top. Leroy Rivet looks to drive forward, so Leeds have used up a couple of tackles with drives from dummy half. And now Collins can find Holroyd to find Harris. Harris looks to go himself. No way through to Tupu. Read the situation very, very well. As did Willie Swan. They've been working in tandem tonight. Farrell. Sterling, another one who will look to go himself. Gets the ball back to Golden. Golden pushes off Willie Swan, and Leeds struggling at the moment to make any ground whatsoever. And again, the boot of Iestyn Harris will be called to get Leeds out of some ground. But that's gone too far this time, and Warrington can bring that back. So Leeds struggling on attack at the moment, Phil.
Yeah, it just seems slightly short of options as they come in. There was a lot of one-up football in that last set of 6. But they'll come again. I mean, they've played well at the start of the game, but Warrington now, they'll look to get out their half for the first time in this recent spell.
Well, Warrington crowd wanting Leeds to be offside there, but the referee didn't give it. It seemed like the player who tapped the football took an eternity to actually play it. Collins brings him down. Forster looks to go through the gap. Andy Hay brings him down. So again, Warrington using Forster. Harris, that was a forward pass from Sculthorpe. It was a lovely ball, but it was forward. The referee didn't spot it. Sculthorpe goes again down the blind side. And that's good defence from Leroy Rivet. That wasn't a good pass from Sculthorpe. It went to nowhere. Richard Harris picked it up. No option for Richard Harris. And Warrington not making best use of the possession there.
No, both teams a little short of ideas on attack at the moment, but some great defence there from Leroy Rivet. He's coming to this side and he's determined to make his point, and it really is a top game for him so far. I'd like to see the tackle counts for both teams. It would put them up in their stakes, no doubt, this game.
Adrian Morley comes on for Leeds. Mercer picks up from the base of the scrum. Hassan. Good run in there from Mazzella again. And almost coming up to half-time. Both sides will be looking to do something in these last couple of minutes. I know Dean Bell always tells Leeds to be patient. And Morley again, that's good play from Leeds, keeping the ball alive, but Warrington are reading it well. Holding down Warren Stevens, and Wayne Collins appealed for that penalty, and that's what's upset the Warrington fans so much. First half penalties, 4-2 to the Rhinos, and 5-4 in the stakes with the scrum. So this is probably going to be the last attack of the first half. The ball goes out onto the railway line, and another one's fetched quickly for Jamie Matthew, who burst the first line of defence there. Good play from Leeds in the 10-metre mark now. Use Marcella to drive forward. Goes at Warren Stevens, brought down 2-3 metres short. Wainwright signals for Warrington to come. Collins is going over, is he? He's in for a try, Wayne Collins. That's going to be a try. The in-goal judges, no problems. Over from dummy half. Great play there from Snoopy Collins.
Well done. It's Snoopy Collins, the top player, and he saw that gap and he knew where he was going. He knew what was going to happen there. Leeds had stacked up on the open side and they were ready just to spin it out wide. And I think perhaps the Warrington players' eyes had drifted across to that attack and just took their eyes off Snoopy Collins for one brief second. That's all it took, and he was over with a score, and that's a great score for Leeds coming into the half-time. That's what they need. They need to go into that changing room with a lead, and that's what they've got now.
Yes, I can't see there being any more time left. It looks 40 minutes up on the clock virtually, and it's been a bit of stoppage time, but Iestyn Harris should use that up with the kick for the goal. So Harris, referee, also feeling the pinch. He's having a drink of water, and it really is a hot night. The sun's starting to drift down now behind some clouds that have formed, and I'm sure the players will be glad of the respite from the heat. Iestyn Harris again then. It's to make it 12 points to 6. A successful conversion from Harris. Leeds 12, Warrington 6, and the crowd booing. Marvin Golden just having a chat. Gary Mercer just G's Leeds up, and Holroyd I think will kick off this time. Just to set the ball on the stand, on the sand. And George Mann on the field. And Leeds up quickly in the tackle. Well, they'll be looking to keep Warrington down here. They won't want to miss a tackle now because we can't be that far away from half-time. Mike Wainwright looks to get the ball away. He's always been a great ball handler, Mike Wainwright, even since his early days as an academy international. But cheers again. Good defence though from Leeds. Jamie Matthew. Sculthorpe puts the kick over the top. That'll bounce and it'll probably go dead in goal. It does indeed. So again, Leeds can have the benefit of the 20-metre tap. And Leeds just taking the time going back as you'd expect at this stage of the first half.
Yeah, both teams needing the rest in these hot conditions. This game very much opposite of the game at Headingley earlier in the season. Both teams had very suspect defences that night, but certainly defences on top in this game with a score of 12-6 coming into the half-time. There really has been few opportunities, but those that have been made available have been taken full capital of.
Yes, certainly from Leeds. And Warrington had a couple of chances that they didn't want to take. And that ball was stolen there from Marvin in the tackle, and he's not happy about it. 2 men in at the tackle and the ball just reefed out. And Warrington have got away with it, and that's the name of the game. So Warrington, one final last chance in this first half. Thought it's a drop off for John Roper. Gary Chambers is coming off for Warrington, and Chile just takes the ball forward. Scragden pulled down, and again Briars Leeds wouldn't have expected to two-put. Mercer dragging him down by the shirt. Good defence there from the lead skipper. Finau goes himself from dummy half. He realised that Mercer was offside and used him as a foil there. So Warrington now, have they got a chance to come again, and a penalty comes. A holding down in the tackle. Briars. Long ball for Wainwright. Wainwright puts Ayres through the gap. Ayres looking to offload again to Briars. Warrington. Gap's opened up for Roper. Roper steps in. That's going to be a try, and Leeds have conceded right on the stroke of half-time. Poor defence again from the Rhinos.
Very poor. They watched Briars come across the line, and just the whole defensive line got split, and it just left an overlap, and Warrington made a full use of it. And you can't do that sort of thing. The drift defence was nowhere, and really that's disappointing for Leeds. But a great score for Warrington coming into the half-time. They needed that, and they got it. A great play.
Yes, and again Leeds failing to capitalise on that. It was their error that forced the play there when Mazzella lost the ball. They didn't tackle soundly from the base of the scrum, allowed Warrington to run all the way up to the 10-metre line and then conceded a penalty. And just goes to prove Leeds conceded a penalty before Briar scored his first try, and they've conceded one, and now we've seen Roper go for the try. This will give Warrington renewed heart. Well, Briar's difficult kick, just 10 metres or so in from touch. Briars then lines up the kick. So Leeds, luckily, have only a 12 points to 10 lead at half-time. It could have been so different. It could have been 12-6, but Leeds have conceded right on the half-time hooter. They opened the scoring with Sheridan's try. Harris converted 6-0, and Briars had a try which he converted himself 6-all. On 37 minutes, Collins went over. We thought for the try that would give Leeds a half-time 12-6 lead. Harris converted. But then Leeds, poor defence from Leeds and poor options allowed Roper to go over wide out. 39 minutes. Leeds 12, Warrington 10. Warrington about to get this game restarted. Terry Newton's on for Leeds, and difficult to see who's come off at the moment. It looks like Andy Hayes off the field, and Mark Hilton comes back for Warrington, replacing Gary Chambers. Sterling gets the ball on the bounce. Good kick off from Warrington, putting Leeds under pressure straight away, right down on their own line. And Rivet still on the field for Leeds. So Damien Gibson's come back on. And again, Leeds have knocked the ball forward at dummy half. Not a happy players, so that's under pressure again straight away from the kick-off.
Ryan Sheridan's gone off, and Graham Morrow's come in at scrum half, and Leeds really are spelling the changes to get this game under control.
to be a suspicious like a forward pass there, but referee says it's okay. Warrington powering forward now with Sculthorpe. First half scrum, 6-5 all. 6-5 now to the wire. Hilton again goes driving forward, and Leeds won't want to concede at this stage. Using the short side with Sculthorpe. And that's good defence from the Rhinos, keeping Warrington penned there. And moving up quickly, Briars again puts a little kick through. Oh, that was clever play there from Warrington. Absolutely brilliant play from Lee Briars, a player who I have in the past criticised, but a great play there. Saw the Leeds defence move up quick, put the kick through for Forster.
Briars had an outstanding game so far, and that just adds to his repertoire. He had great vision there. He's seen the Leeds defence had come up. They were looking to get quick defence in, but Briars capitalised on it and put a lovely chip through, and that really is costly for the Rhinos. They won't want to concede early on. They have done, and now they've got to come back. This will be the mettle of this side. They've got to come back from this with Briars to kick. That could increase the Warrington lead, and really there is a job to be done.
Yes, the Leeds have conceded 2 tries in 2 minutes, either side of the interval, and Briars' conversion will make Leeds 16. That's the first time they've been behind in the game. But again, that came from a mistake at dummy half, deep in the quarter. So again, Leeds making a mistake and paying for it. Briars is successful with his conversion. Warrington 16, Leeds Rhinos 12. And Leeds again are only themselves to blame on that one. They made the mistake early in the tackle count in their own quarter, and proved once again, as a lot of sides are doing this season, that it's very difficult to defend when the opposition gets 6 tackles in and around your own quarter. And Briars wiping the ball at the moment. And Holroyd waits, and Morley comes charging downfield now. Marvin Golden puts his head down and charges forward, and Leeds really need a try early in the second half. Harris. Terry Newton looking, another player who the crowd won't realise, but he also came from Warrington. Masella straight into Hilton. Last tackle coming up, and Harris will look to put the kick in. George Mann attempts to charge down. That's a good kick from Harris. That's sent Warrington charging back. It may actually run dead, and in fact it will. It's going to go too far and can run over the dead ball line. Only just a couple of foot in it, but gives Warrington a chance to organise themselves and get a tap on the 20-metre mark. And Holroyd complaining about something. And Willie Swan it will be to tap the football. Hilton again driving forward, but that's good defence from Matthew. Lee Penny. The Leeds fans starting to chant now. Sculthorpe's ball is for Richard and Addy. Look to again suspiciously forward. Picked up by Forster. He spotted the gap quickly. He's through the first wave of defence. Masella brings him down, but that's good play. Warrington really fired up now and looking to run Leeds ragged. Wainwright's passes for Ayres. Ayres has dropped the football. Picked up there by Leroy Rivet for Leeds. Rivet stepping, going himself. Has he got the legs on Penny? Comes back in field, Rivet there, and perhaps again he should have just straightened up and gone. And Sculthorpe knocking him down. But looked at dangerous position for Leeds there.
Yeah, once Rivet gets going, he's electric, and he really did have a go at him there. Unfortunately, he ran straight into Paul Sculthorpe, who wasn't going to go it through. He just had to go down to get around. But this is good from Leeds. They're attacking now. And here goes Iestyn Harris. Oh, he just tripped up and he's gone short.
Yes, that certainly saved a try there. And Lee Penny certainly having something to do with Iestyn Harris. And Harris having something to say to Lee Penny. And probably a bit like Leeds this season, Lee Penny's probably the only player on Warrington's books who can actually remember Iestyn Harris. Things have changed very, very quickly. And certainly one of the few. And that's a penalty to Leeds. And Briars is complaining. And offside, says the referee. All offside inside the 10 metres. And surely Harris will kick at goal, I think, on this one. And Holroyd is telling Harris to kick it goal. That's the signal from the bench. And this should put Leeds to within 2 points if they could kick it. But just a trip there. Harris slipped as he got through the gap, otherwise that could have been a try. I'm sure Harris would have had the pace to stand up Lee Penny. And Penny came in with a vicious tackle on Harris. Just waiting for the sun to come on, and I think Iestyn Harris just having a word with the referee, as he certainly had a word with the two Leeds water carriers when Warrington were about to kick a goal. But it seems as though he's quite happy to let the Warrington water carriers just wander around. So Harris has this kick to bring the scores back to 2 points. Straight through the middle.
And really the Wire supporters crying out Judas to Iestyn Harris. He's never let Warrington down. He never let them down. And they just couldn't hang on to him. And now he's proven his worth for the Rhinos. And that was a superb kick. And that brings the Rhinos back within 2 points. And they'll look at this as a platform. And it was right to take the 2 points. They're on offer. You've got to take them. Graham Allwood was anxious here. He wanted to run it. But that's the kind of creative player he is. But the 2 points are in the bank now. And it's time to go again.
So Warrington will get the ball back, but Leeds will look to keep them pressure down here. And up for a mistake, they haven't really penned Warrington into any mistakes in their own quarter, and Warrington have done it a couple of times to the Rhinos. Warrington, Wainwright just gets the ball, and again it's Forster. And he's having a big game, must be 36-year-old now, Matt Forster. And Celeste now goes again from dummy half, and Warrington are almost up to halfway in 2 tackles. And giving a penalty away again, Leeds there. And really they're needless penalties to give away, and Warrington, Matt Foster is saying settle it down, and Leeds will be defending again in their own half of the field. But Warrington certainly catching Leeds napping there with Forster and then Finau. The George man just drives forward. 14-16 then in the favour of the Warrington. Drop the ball. And that's offside. Surely the referee will give the knock on first. And again, Warrington kicking the ball away. And eventually the referee's going to have to do something about that. That's just blatant time wasting. Holroyd will feed the scrum. Mercer breaks from the base of the scrum, but Sculthorpe's equal to him round the back. Terry Newton. Defence from Richie Ayres in playing well tonight, the former Leedsman. Masella. And again, Ayres is making the tackle, so he'll be high up the tackle count. Morley just had to stop as he got the ball, and that just delayed his charge. Golden goes from dummy half. So the last tackle, Leeds just inside the Warrington half of the field. Holroyd can put the kick in. It's a left-footed high spinning kick. Penny takes it and pumps off Wayne Collins. And Warrington come again now. And that's better defence from Leeds, and the Warrington crowd are complaining about something again there. Finau plays the football, finds Forster. And again, Warrington using Forster every time coming in. Oh, and again, Mercer's giving a penalty away there. And these are needless penalties from Leeds. And I'm sure the Leeds bench will not be happy with that. That's again, Leeds have conceded. The rule is you're supposed to roll away, Phil.
This is costing the Rhinos dear. They're giving away yardage and they're giving away sets of 6 on a regular basis. And it's only a matter of time before the referee begins to start looking at sin binnings, and he really has got to take a clamp down on these penalties.
So Leeds 30 metres from their own line, defending again now as Hilton comes. Warrington have dropped the ball in this position in the last 2 sets of 6. George Mann. Lee Briars again. This time it's for Wainwright. Inside ball for Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe knocked down though. But Leeds inside the Leeds danger zone now in the 20-metre mark. Warrington using the short side again with Wainwright. And the ball again put down, so Leeds have been led off again there. Or perhaps you could say it's good defence that's forcing the pass to be dropped. Damien Gibson. The penalty to Leeds, holding down in the tackle, and again we're finding that Warrington really no better at it than Leeds. Iestyn Harris will kick for touch, kicks up towards our commentary position. Warrington cling on to that 2 points lead, but they're not really clinging at the moment. Masella. And again, Hilton's in. It's had a big game tonight, Mark Hilton. Great to see him back in the game. Iestyn Harris. Puts Adrian Morley through a gap, and he's got Marvin Golden with him. And Golden, has he got the legs to go? Foster's chasing him. Great defence there from Mark Forster. And holding down underneath the post. And that's good defence from Warrington there. Really, Golden should have scored that try. He's trying to go again, Marvin Golden. He hasn't got the strength to go over from there. It was a great ball from Harris that put Morley away. And Leeds should have something here if Harris can get the ball out far enough. Holroyd, that's for Philosan. Philosan's over for the try. That's going to be a try to Leeds. And really the pass from Iestyn Harris, which put Adrian Morley through the gap there, that deserved a try.
Certainly did. That was a great piece of vision by Harris, and that's what he was brought to Headingley for, and he's shown it here at his old stomping ground of Wilderspool. It really was a great pass. Marvin Golden, perhaps coming back from his injury, perhaps he hasn't got the old pace that we know of Marvin, but that'll come. And it was a great run from him, great support from Adrian Morley. He knew Adrian perhaps couldn't make it to the line and was with him in support. And then from that, they've spun it out wide, as they should have done. And Philosan was there to go flying over. And that's a great try for Philosan, who's had a bit of a dry spell on the try front. But he's back now, back for the Storm.
Yes, Leeds taking the lead again. And a great ball from Graham Holroyd there for the drew the man perfectly before he put Philosan away. But thought Marvin Golden was going to get in under the post. Perhaps Adrian Morley actually gave him the pass a little bit too soon. But that would be being hypercritical. Leeds have scored the try, and that's what really matters. And Golden did well. He got right up to the line, and that's near enough. And strong Marvin Golden, great to see him back. Iestyn Harris, difficult kick right from the touchline side, couple of metres in. Harris's kick comes in, and it's successful, and you could hear by the silence from behind the House of Pain end of the ground that was a successful kick.
Yeah, you could hear a pin drop in there. Down the other end, it's the Rhinos fans who are very noisy and very joyous over that score. That really was something special. And now the Rhinos look to come again as they kick. And now here come Warrington.
Just bringing the ball back out there. 20 points to 16 then. Leeds in the lead. Forster again. Morley brings him down. No, he doesn't. He gets away, and Matthew has to do the bringing down. To Tupu. Oh, big defence from Marvin Golden there. Hilton again. Will take the ball forward all day, Mark Hilton. Briars. Balls for Wainwright. Wainwright puts Hayes through a gap. Hayes it away now. Outrights. Penny. Oh, good defence from Philosan, but Richie Hayes dangerous and laughing there. Graham Holroyd all over his face. Warrington using Briars on the short side again. Wainwright's through the gap. Great ball from Briars. A knock on there, says the referee, and that'll be Leeds that have knocked that ball down. And Warrington will have head and feet in the Leeds quarter. We've already seen that Leeds are finding it difficult to defend a set of 6 in their own quarter. And great ball there put to Richie Hayes away, and Lee Briars is playing out of his skin tonight.
Yeah, he's playing wonderfully well, and there's some great defence there for Philosan. We've just seen him score a try, but his defence there was outstanding, and he kept two Warrington players out with some great cover tackles.
Warrington picked the ball up with Briars. Wainwright again. He really is dangerous, Mike Wainwright, with the football in his hands. Leads out quickly from the scrum, and Warrington using Lee Penny to try and dodge his way over. Gets to Tupu away. Good defence though from Terry Newton and Jamie Matthew. He's had another big game tonight, Matthew. Collins got a good pass, and that's lost ground, and Leeds should be really looking to put George Mann down outside, well outside the quarter. And they have done that, 3 men in at the tackle, so that's great defence from Leeds. Forster will bring it back though. He really is a veteran now, Mark Forster, but that's great running. Forster up to within 5 metres, so the bad pass has been rectified there. Briars again puts Hilton through the gap. Hilton brought down, up to the last tackle now. Can Leeds hang out for this last tackle? Briars goes himself, puts a long pass out to the winger. Picked up by Leeds over their own line, and Leroy Rivet's done really well there. Tremendous play from Rivet. That was kicked back and ricocheted off a Warrington player, and the Leeds fans at the back of the post just chanting Leroy Rivet's name. He'll be pleased with that. Sterling's infield looking for work. Oh, that's a high tackle. The referee's let that one go. Both players were around the neck there. Harris again, splits the gap, goes himself. See it back to Collins. Collins will just move forward. That's the right thing to do at this stage in the tackle count. Mercer again. Oh, he's through the gap, Gary Mercer. Now he won't have the legs on Lee Penny, but he might have the strength. Sterling couldn't get there quickly. Lee Penny just makes sure that he's tackled. So Leeds starting to punch some holes in this Warrington defence. And Holroyd with the ball in his hands now finds Harris. Hassan throwing the dummy, slipped though as he went down, trying to get through on the blind side. Harris again just slips. He's got to get the ball back to Morley. Morley, will he put the kick in? Matthew. Holroyd's lost the football. In fact, he's got it back. He gets the ball back to Sterling. It's still a last tackle, remember. Sterling puts a kick in. He's chasing forward, but that'll be picked up by Penny. Sterling misses him. There's a gap for Lee Penny. Matthew knocks him down. That was good football from both sides there.
Excellent play there. Leeds on the last tackle. They knew they had to get it out wide, and they kept it going through the hands. And Warrington, they weren't distracted by some wild passing. They knew they had a job to do, and there's some great defence.
And a couple of Leeds players slipped there, and we've seen Warrington do that as well. Picked up by Hassan now for Leeds. Harris, the ball was put down there. It wasn't a good pass from Wainwright. Here, knock comes on for Warrington. Hassan going. George Mann trying to knock him into touch. That's does well to keep out. Gibson's in at dummy half. Again, Collins. He'll find Matthew. Matthew for Harris. Harris's ball is for Holroyd, and that's where Leeds will want it. Newton. Just inside the 30-metre mark. Warrington all coming back. Mercer goes himself. 4 tackles gone, so Leeds in that 20-metre mark now with Wayne Collins. Back to Holroyd. Not a good pass, but Holroyd picks it up well. He's looking for the runaround there. That's for Hassan. Hassan, has he got the pace, brings Gibson in on the inside. Steps Sculthorpe. Still going, Damien Gibson. Still going. That's good play from Gibson up to the 10-metre mark now. Referee says there's 2 more tackles to go. And Harris will just run the football there for Mercer. Oh, Mercer's put the ball down. It must have gone backwards. He was facing his own line. Leroy Rivet picks up for Leeds. Golden. Knocked down, though, by that veteran Forster. What a big game he's had tonight. And Leeds will rule that, because if they could have got the ball there, looked a certain try. Leeds underneath it. Everyone's underneath it. Knocked over their own line. Oh, and Leeds are letting Richard and Addy run out from behind the post. Well, that was poor defence there.
Very bad. They let the man have it. They were looking for that, just catch the ball, and really they just forgot they had defensive duties to carry out there.
Yes, it was Richard and Addy did ever so well there, but really should have been knocked behind his own line. But it's certainly end-to-end at the moment. Number 21 just brought down. Is Ian Knott? Hilton. And Salaf comes flying in, misses the tackle, but Collins doesn't. Swan. Sculthorpe. Back to Swan. Oh, that says that 6 more tackles. The ball bouncing off Gary Mercer. He certainly didn't make a play for that ball. That's a poor decision from the referee. The ball just bounced off the back of Mercer's thigh. Briars again. Here comes George Mann. Richiers. Good defence though from Iestyn Harris. Warrington just 30 metres from that Leeds line now with the hands of Briars. George Mann again. Not got the pace of old. I've seen the times when George Mann in his St Helens days would have strolled through the gap there. Briars again. Puts the hammer down, goes himself. Side down by Adrian Morley. Great defence. But if Warrington can move this ball quickly, then there should be problems there for Leeds. A good kick, but it looked almost as though Forster was offside.
Yeah, he did look a bit too far in front for my liking. But really, if Warrington had just put that through the set of hands, they were at an overlap there. They could have taken effect off. But now Leeds will go again. We've stood a set of 6 in their own quarter, and now they must go again and see if they can get another score to make this safer.
Just give him the gain out there, didn't quite catch it. Oh, Sterling's lost the football in a one-man tackle. And so Leeds again will be holding out here as they're trying to make a substitution. Jamie Field comes on for Marcella, and Leeds have put the ball down, and there'll be a scrum. Heading ball to Warrington. And that's just what the Warrington Wolves will be wanting tonight. Plenty of mistakes from the Leeds Rhinos so they can have plenty of attacking options. And Leeds, and both sides must be feeling it, but Leeds in particular, because they've dropped so much ball, must be feeling the pinch. And Leeds player, it's Jamie Matthew, he's down on the floor. And the crowd slow hand clapping, but that's not a very nice thing to do when a man's down injured.
Jamie Matthew, a player that's been putting in full sets of 80 minutes in the last couple of games, and he will be tired. So he has got 1 or 2 injuries that may be just catching up with him now in the later stages of the game. But he looks to be okay. He's getting up in the scrums formed, and now Warrington will put some pressure on.
8-6 to Warrington if they take this heading ball at this scrum. And they do that with Lee Briars, Wainwright. Good defence from Harris. Penny finds George Mann, and Mann likes to run out wide on this right centre position for Warrington. He used to do that in his Leeds days. John Roper goes himself from dummy half. And they've got on a good defence from last-ditch defence from Leeds, and Leeds in danger of being opened up again. Richard and Addy's going forward. Warrington have a million of men out on the left-hand side, and the Leeds sliding defence needs to move across quickly. Penny, Golden. Penny trying to go himself without using the winger there, and a good chance gone from Warrington. Sculthorpe. Brought down, that's good defence from Leeds, and that's going to be the turnover for some great defence from Leeds there.
Yeah, some great defence, and Paul Sterling really came up for an interception that was never on there, and he got away with it because of some bad options taken by Warrington. They really should have got that through the set of hands and gone into the corner. As it was, Leeds have held out and they've done well.
Yes, Mark Foster was the man in the corner, and I'm sure if Lee Penny would have given him the ball, he would have scored, but he didn't. And Leeds come away now with Wayne Collins. Remember, it was his try just before half-time that looked to have given Leeds a 12-6 advantage. As it was, it finished up 12-10, but that could be count at the end. Jamie Field just driving forward. And Leeds will want Warrington down here. To the last tackle now. Will Holroyd put the kick in? He does. He measures his kick. It's a high spinning kick. Mistimed it. It's coming down. Hillasan gets the ball back there to Leeds. Come on, Leeds, pick the ball up. Harris finds Morley. Now there's a gap there for Morley. Oh, Matthew tackled there. Really, Leeds didn't make the best option. Would perhaps have been better if Adrian Morley hadn't got that ball on that tackle there, but that's giving Warrington the turnover. Not a good pass picked up by Roper. You could tell by the sound of the boot to the ball that Holroyd hadn't timed the kick. George Mann. Played prop, stand-off, second row, and loose forward in his days with Leeds, and hooker, of course. Briars. Long pass out for Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe's ball is out for Forster, and this time he's well watched and well knocked down there by Leeds. Mercer it was. Fee now going forward. That's, again, good defence from Leeds. Briars with the ball in his hands, running at the Leeds defence, puts the crossfield kick in. Leroy Rivet. Again, looks to like he's going to get tackled over the line this time. That's good defence from Warrington, but that was a great kick there from Briars.
Really went one way, then kicked the other. It really was superb, and it caught the Leeds defence on napping, and they weren't too sure which way that ball was going, but they've been caught, and now they've got to kick out, and this will be a lot of pressure again from Warrington, and really Leeds have to see out this pressure. It would be terrible if they were to concede now.
Yes, we've been playing about half an hour. Harris's kick comes downfield. Picked up by Lee Penny. The second attempt, he stopped it with his knees. One gets a big tackle from Wayne Collins, knocks him back. So Leeds have got Warrington now, 40 metres from their own line. Let's just see how much yardage Warrington can make in this set of 6. Hilton steps the first tackle and almost up to the 30-metre mark. We've had 2 tackles gone. George Mann, that looked a forward pass for Mann. He steps out of a tackle, gets the ball away to Fee now. Good defence though from Phil Hassan. Sculthorpe. Oh, good defence. Terry Newton, well played there. Jamie Fielding as well, and Warrington looking with Briars again to come over on this far side. Roper. Up to the last tackle, so Leeds can expect the bomb from the boot of Briars. Briars puts a crossfield kick in. And knocked on there by Celeste Fee now. And Briars is trying the kicks across field that Harris and Bobby Goulding do so well, and so far they've not come off for him, apart from the little grubber just as close to the post.
Yeah, Briars taught in St Helens, and he seemed to have been taught a lot by Bobby Goulding, but these kicks, his wingers aren't doing them justice. Paul Sterling's been standing up his opposite number, but they're just knocking on there, and they really should be making these opportunities count.
Yes, Warrington be better putting the ball into the Leeds in goal area and trying to get it back. Leeds just trying 3 runs from dummy half and coming out unstuck. They haven't made him meter yet. And now it's the turn of Harris. Harris will look to bring Leeds on, but there's no one there running for Harris. Lost the ball backwards, and Damien Gibson picks up for the Rhinos, and that's the furthest they've made. 4 tackles gone, and really Leeds have poor play from Leeds. Here comes Matthew, that's better running, driving straight there. Up to the last tackle, and it's going to be the boot of either Harris or Holroyd, which will take Leeds downfield. It's Holroyd's kick that spins down. Lee Penny will have to chase back for this one. This one won't roll dead, he picks it up on his own line. And Golden. And that man Gary Mercer, who's worked hard tonight. And again it's Forster. But Collins has him this time, and Forster not been as successful when he's come down the middle of the field. Wayne Collins has read him perfectly well. Wainwright, bit of an early pass for Roper and gets Roper in some trouble there. Good defence from Hassan and Newton. Briars, Ayres. Swan finds Briars again. Oh, good play there again. It's Fee now. Oh, that's class play from Morley. He really tackled him well there. Sculthorpe now runs at Jamie Field, runs at Marvin Golden, brought down. That's got to be the last tackle. Oh, and Leeds have given a penalty away with Marvin Golden. A judge not to have been marking square, and another penalty in another position that's going to put Leeds under pressure for another set of 6.
Yeah, that was the last tackle there, and Warrington knew it, and they seen that Marvin Golden wasn't square, and they played for it, and they got it. Now they'll have to capitalise on this, and Leeds just putting pressure on themselves. They're making the job hard for themselves, giving away needle shot, and now this is terrible. Gary Mercer, skipper, he's supposed to be showing an example to these players, and referee's just marched them back 10, and this is real pressure now for the Rhinos.
Hilton again, and Leeds really won't want to concede at this stage of the game. They won't get too many chances to come back again. George Mann. But really, Leeds all on themselves to blame. They've done well in the set of 6 there. Wainwright. Twisting, turning, nowhere for Wainwright to go. But he's in the 10-metre area, and if Warrington could get the ball out quickly now with Briars. Long pass out there. Oh, Sterling's knocked a ball on. He did really well there, Sterling, but Forster's got it back for Warrington. There'll be 6 more tackles again, and Leeds will be again conceding. The long pass from Briars wasn't a good one. Hilton knocked down. Warrington again, only metres short. This good play from the wire, keeping the pressure on Leeds. Sculthorpe. Wainwright back to Sculthorpe. And he's brought down this time by Iestyn Harris, who's certainly done his fair share of work. And Harris was appealing for the Warrington man to be in touch there. He lost the football. That'll be Con. Leeds have done well there to withstand that Warrington pressure.
Reminiscent of the game the other week against Halifax, where they withstood great 3 sets of 6 in there own quarter, and they've done it again there. Each man had a job to do, and he's done it well. It's superb defence by the Rhinos.
Anthony Faddle comes back on for Jamie Matthews, had a big game. Well, Leeds have, both sides have scored 3 tries each. It's only the 2 extra goals of Iestyn Harris that's making the difference at the moment. Mercer picks up from the base of the scrum. Scrum's 8-7 to the wire. Rivet goes from dummy half. Gets dragged back though. Great defence from Warrington. Leeds can't really get out of their own half of the field at the moment. Jamie fields an extra try. Spins, twists round, but again, 3 tackles gone. Leeds still in their own quarter. Harris will try and bring things on now. Gives a long pass out to Phil Hassan. And that's better play from Hassan. He makes a good 10 metres, and at least there seems to be a bit of room for the Rhinos. Damien Gibson's the next one. That's the last tackle again. It'll be the boot of Graham Holroyd. So Leeds need to get this one down. It's going to be Harris's kick. That's going to send Lee Penny scurrying back. That might beat everyone again and run dead. It depends how it lands on the point of the ball. In fact, it's a perfect kick. It's gone in the in-goal area. And really, Leeds now need to keep Forster penned down here, which they have done, and they need to do that now without conceding a penalty in this set of 6. Easy yards there for Silisi now. Nobody at marker defence for Leeds. And Farrell does the right thing, slowing play down. Sculthorpe again. And Duffy, who broke his leg earlier in the season, comes on. Richie Briars. Good defence. Terry Newton's in at the tackle again. And Warrington just in their own half of the field, just in the Leeds half of the field. With Mark Hilton, big defence from the Rhinos. Jamie Fields in there. Briars again, switching play, this time with Wainwright. Back to Ayres, and Leeds are going backwards at the moment. Oh, good defence from Collins, up to the last tackle now. Richie Ayres injured in that little skirmish. Back to Briars, Briars' kick. It's safely taken by Harris. And he comes away with the ball as well. That's good play from Harris. Warrington fans claiming that Briars was taken out. Gibson. Good scruff of the neck tackling from George Mann. Marvin Golden spots the gap from dummy half, goes himself, and takes play up to the 30-metre mark. So Leeds have made quite a bit of yardage in these first few tackles. Rivet. He'll just take play forward. 4 tackles gone, Leeds have made 40 metres. All right. And the football, Morley's put the ball down. And Warrington pick up with Briars, and he's stabbed to San. Still going. So again, Leeds make the mistake there, trying to force the pass. And Addy, good defence from Hassan. But again, it's all play's been down in this half of the field. And the ball there goes over the top of Wainwright and finds Sculthorpe eventually. Fee now gets the ball back there again. So number 21, which is Ian Knott. And again, Leeds find themselves defending on their own quarter mark. Hilton just drives and takes the ball up all day. And really it's a case of how long Leeds can hang out here. George Mann, good defence from Leeds. In fact, they've let him step out of the tackle. Oh, and he's passed the ball to Damien Gibson, and Gibson's coming down and steps in field. And needed to, because the touchline was coming. Poor option from George Mann. I wonder if Gibson called for the ball.
Yeah, you don't know, but George Mann, perhaps he wishes he was back in his Leeds days. He's only on loan here, and who knows?
Yes, Gibson again just takes play from the half, and really Leeds need to get that ball down into the Warrington half of the field. They've not made a clean break. And Farrell who's back on the field now, just takes play up to the 40-metre mark. So Leeds have got a couple of tackles at least to make things happen. Harris's tackle gets up slowly to his feet. Mercer's in at dummy half, finds Holroyd. Holroyd measures a kick, puts it through. That's kick for the corner. Oh, and just too far from Graham Holroyd, just went touching goal. And the Warrington fans starting to chant now. Duffy takes the kick, the tap. Forster through the gap again, but Mercer's covering, does very well there. He's had a big game, Mark Forster, tonight, Phil.
Yeah, he's found the gaps and he's executed the holes excellently. But Leeds there hanging on to him well. Good tackle there by Gary Mercer, but they've still got to hold out. Still a lot of work to be done here.
Yes, and Warrington have not made too many mistakes in this second half. When they have, they've been critical. Marvin Golden's hurt his wrist again, and that's not very good as far as Leeds are concerned, because Golden's just come back from a bad wrist injury. Sculthorpe and Leeds are light on this side now. And it's going to take a big effort from Leeds to keep Warrington out with a man short. Penny. And that's Leeds on the plan. Leeds have got the ball in a good position. Golden's injured, and is he coming off the field? It's difficult to see. In fact, I think he's going back into the defensive line. Collins spots the gap, goes himself from dummy half. Can he get the ball away to Sterling? He can't, and it's a good job he didn't try, because the Warrington player got in between. Golden quickly in, and obviously feeling that. Harris goes himself. Collins, Farrell will take the ball forward. That's what he does, and that's what he does best, and that's what he does really well. Well, Leeds in a good position now. This is the best position they've been in for some time in possession. They're in front of the Warrington post in the 20 metres, and that's going to be a penalty to Leeds. Referee just got too fed up there with the Warrington holding down, and really that's suicide from Warrington.
That's been coming, that penalty. There was a few occasions there as Leeds come up the field, but Warrington just held down in the tackle, and really you can't do that, especially as Mr. Ganson, he's been punishing that all night long, and really they've shot themselves in the foot there. A hell of a lot of good work they did up the field, and really now it's going to play, because Iestyn Harris, he's the golden boy with the boot, and he'd love to slot this over into the House of Pain behind the post there. Really, this is a great chance for the Rhinos to put some points on the board and just settle themselves down and go at this game again with the final minutes approaching.
Yes, and that's the first time Leeds have been down there in possession, and they managed to get the penalty, but Warrington guilty of holding down, and they held down for what seemed like an eternity there. So Harris, probably only 2 or 3 minutes left in this game. But you never know with the stoppage time. Harris's kick is successful. 22 points to 16 then. So Harris puts Leeds. Six points in front, so Warrington would need a try and a goal to draw this game. And Holroyd just, as you can imagine, he's not rushing back with the football. For he stops the clock. And a long kick downfield is picked up by Briars. And Briars will have to run this ball himself. He had no runners, man had overrun him. And Forster, who was coming up, was too far away. Forster again. What a great game he's had tonight. Pushes Golden off, but Golden hangs on well. George Mann steps out of one tackle, gives it to Lee Penny. Jamie Fields in, and Morley knocking him down. Briars again. This ball's for Wainwright. When Sculthorpe knocks the ball down, it's picked up by Farrell for Leeds. That was just the sheer force of the tackle on Sculthorpe. And he's injured in the tackle. Shakes his head ruefully. And Leeds can really, would be a best option to drive to the post and look for the drop goal. Wayne Collins has just attempted to do that. Gets to his feet. Mercer. And runs straight at young John Duffy. Rivet's in at dummy half. What will Leroy Rivet do? Will go himself again, runs at Duffy and takes play into the 10 metres. Perfect position for the drop goal if Leeds can get the ball back quickly enough to Holroyd. Snaps at it, that's over. That's over, and that could be the winning points for Leeds. That means Warrington will have to score twice now, Phil. Set up for the position perfectly with Rivet's drive and Mercer.
That's what a team as one unit working together. Superb, really was excellent there. They knew exactly what they wanted from 3 tackles out there. They were just working the position over and over, and that's it. It's all over. Leeds have won.
Yes, how Leeds have survived under the cosh Only they will know, but that's excellent defence from the Rhinos tonight. Absolutely superb defence and some great goal kicking from Iestyn Harris. Holroyd's drop goal at the end just put the ice on the cake. As it happened, it didn't matter because Leeds would have won anyway, but he just made sure, and that's what it's all about. Great teamwork tonight from Leeds. They led 12-10 at half-time thanks to tries from Sheridan and Collins. Warrington having a try to Briars and Roper, and critically Lee Briars missed a goal in the first half. 12-10 in the second half. Warrington hit back. They scored 2 tries actually in 2 minutes. 1 minute either side of half-time. When Forster scored, Briars converting the lead for the first time in the match. On 49 minutes, a penalty from Iestyn Harris made it 14-16, and then Phil Hassan's try in 54 minutes, which Harris converted, made it 20 points to 16 after great work from Marvin Golden and Iestyn Harris and Adrian Morley. Holroyd's pass found Hassan and he made no mistake. And Harris' penalty on 76 minutes made it 22-16, and when Leeds drove the ball back after a good tackle and Sculthorpe had dropped the ball down, had knocked the ball out of Sculthorpe's hands, Holroyd converted the drop goal as Leeds drove to the post. So a great result for the Rhinos. 4-1 for Warrington. They go off to Australia with the defeat behind them, and Leeds can welcome the Adelaide Rams next week. Final score then from Wilderspool, from myself and Phil Daly, it's good night. Leeds 23, Warrington Wolves 16.